All right. Wayward Souls at the Double Tap In. Do you see that up there?
Yeah.
See what episode number this is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
99.
99, bitches. I got 99 problems, and you know what? A podcast is one.
Cheers, right. Cheers, brother.
Nice. Nice.
You know, when Rob Price gets a pack of googly eyes, you know, you just have to have a couple of them.
Yeah.
You never know where they're going to turn up.
Yeah.
So if you follow us on our Facebook group, you'll see that some vandal went to the doctor and put googly eyes on the freaking paper towel machine. I can't believe anyone would do that.
I think I did see that.
Vandals, damn it.
Gotta love them.
So now I've got to order my own pack of googly eyes because them bitches are going everywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Because I can.
Exactly. Harper came home the other day and she was all excited. Dad, Daddy, Daddy, Dad. I was like, yes, honey, what? Can we do what was it? It was a puppet or a sign or something. And she said, we need a stick and a paper plate and some googly eyes. And when she said googly eyes, the only thing I could think of was the video of like the older grandmother and like the older granddaughter, or like maybe it was her daughter walking through the store and putting googly eyes on every O that was on the boxes. Oh my fucking God. And it is hysterical. Like here's this grandmother who's losing her shit. And then either the daughter or the granddaughter is like, Grandma, like we can't be doing this. She's like, oh, sure we can.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. So I was like, sure thing, honey. We can do whatever you want. We don't have googly eyes that I know of. If we do, my wife's been hiding them from me. And that really shows you how much she doesn't trust me.
TMU.
Yeah. Oh, is that where you got them?
No, I got them from Rob, but I need to order my own because I want the varying sizes. I want the big ones. I want the little ones. I want all sizes.
I was like talking about googly eyes.
Damn it! No, my mind went completely different, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I expect nothing less.
Oh, 50 to 900 piece mixed size, lowest price in 60 days, $113.
There you go. I got my first order from TMU, by the way. Surprisingly very fast. And surprisingly, now one of the items I got, I already had one of. I paid $29 for it through Amazon or one of them. And it's a rod butt bulb, I guess is the best way to do it. It's a sleeve that goes over your rod butt.
We don't need to know about what you do in your free time.
I know. It's got a ball on the end that keeps the rod butt from digging into your thigh when you're fishing.
Okay.
Jennifer had an issue when we were drum fishing and bruised herself pretty bad. And so we got these to put on the rod butts when we're doing big fish stuff. Well, I paid $29, got it. It's very nice. I paid $6 on TMU because it's $6. Why not give it a whirl? It's the same fucking thing without the embossing. Same material, same everything. It just doesn't have the product embossing on it.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Nope. Here you go. Mixed box, 900 pieces, $4.11.
On TMU.
On Temu.
Temu. That's it. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I need 900 googly eyes.
I'll send it to you.
Perfect. Perfect. Because I need them. I'm finding places. It all started with, there it is. So it all started with me seeing a reel with a dog that had one eye.
Oh, no.
Yep.
No.
Well, yes, they did. Well, my mom and Jim have. Poor Molly has one eye.
Oh,
So that's what started the whole googly eyes with Rob thing. I said, hey, man, I know you got that big thing of googly eyes. Can you bring me a handful? We're going to dinner tonight at Mom and Dad's. Can I have some googly eyes? Because I'm going to stick a googly eye on Molly.
you're a sick bastard, and I love you.
So that's what started the whole googly eye thing with me.
Sweet Jesus.
So I have them in my pocket, and we go to Five Below, or no, we went to Michael's over in, by Walmart. We go in there, and I may have had a whole pocket of googly eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, I came out with a couple less, and end up going to the doctor's office for a follow up, and I'm staring at the thing that looks like a nose emblem, that looks like a mouth. It's just missing 2 eyes.
2 eyes.
So I just so happen to have a
2.
pocket of eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah. Good time.
Oh my.
You never know where they're going to pop up.
Yeah, like a one-eyed dog. Jesus Christ. That's sick and funny. But it's sick.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 Here we are 7 minutes in, and we're off the rails.
Off the rails.
Yeah. So cheers to us.
Yeah.
And googly eyes.
Yeah. Did I tell you about my latest Temu purchase?
No. Get out. Good for you. Yeah. Yeah.
So the story goes that the Crocs that I did have I bought them when I moved into the house. And I bought them when Sam was a puppy. And I have pictures of like in the house with her as a puppy wearing these stupid Crocs. So they're probably 16 years old. And there's a long period of time when I wore them, when I raw dogged them and wore them barefoot. So you can see where that's going.
Oh, yes.
Even worse is you can smell where that was going. But with the time that Sam was a puppy, they were new. And she's a puppy, and what do puppies do? They chew on shit. So in these Crocs had these little bite marks from Sam the puppy. And they didn't really mean, like, it didn't really mean anything until it was, Ben, your Crocs stink. Go to the outlet, go somewhere, get a new pair of Crocs, and you need to throw those away. But these are my Crocs. But they stink. And your feet stink. And you're like, they got to go. Okay. So I order these.
Yeah.
And I'm carrying out my Crocs to the trash can when I realize, when it all hits me, and I see this picture in my mind of me sitting on the floor with my little puppy and her biting my shoes, of those are bite marks from Sammy.
Yep.
But they stunk, so I threw them away. And
bastard.
But still, like, that was
like,
like fucking Crocs. Like, who gives a flying fuck about a pair of Crocs?
Yep. Damn it.
Yep. So,
yeah, I've got man, I'm ashamed to even say how many pairs of Crocs I have. No, I'm not. I love them. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah.
And
what's interesting is if you go look at the American Podiatry Association So for those common folks, podiatry or foot doctors, they actually support people wearing Crocs.
Yep.
Like ergonomically, physically, anatomically, the whole like Croc as a whole is good for your foot.
Yeah.
They're cushioned, they're supportive, they're comfortable, they allow your foot to breathe.
They have an arch.
Yep. So like they're good for your feet. So
I had a pair of work boots that I wore for a period of time that I'm just going to say it damaged my feet. It caused significant heel pain. And when I realized it was the boot, of course, I swapped boots and did that. But the only thing I could wear to keep the heel pain away was my Crocs when I was off. So I wore Crocs everywhere and got to realize that there were a benefit to them. Not only did my heels feel better, my back felt better.
yeah.
My feet felt better, aside from the heel. Everything felt better. And they're just plain convenient. Ugly as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
No one ever says they got laid wearing Crocs. But
Are you sure?
well, I know different. So yeah, I lock them bitches in sport mode and stand by. You're in trouble. Yeah, they're better than grippy socks from the psych ward.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll bet I have 10 pair. And I have regular Croc shoes that you can wear out, and look decent. I have a lot of shit.
How are the regular shoes? Are they comfortable too?
They're very nice. Yes.
Huh.
They're very, very nice. In fact, I have a pair of Crocs and a pair of Skechers that are real close in appearance. I'll take the Crocs all day because the support's better. Yeah. And Skecher, as we all know, is a reputable, really good support shoe, the whole 9 yards. Do you have Hey Dudes?
I do.
Do you like them?
I do. The problem is I think they're going the way of my old Crocs, and I think they're causing my feet to stink. But I like them. I think they're comfortable. Did you know that they make a safety toe? Hey Dude.
Get the fuck out.
I think it's Vans actually that makes it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Vans I know. I can't do Hey Dudes. They don't have enough support.
I believe it.
The sole's too soft, and I realized that we have a shell driveway out back.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stepped out one day and caught a shell that went through the Hey Dude into my foot, that's a soft sole. And well, look at that shit. Damn. My only regret is I wish that they had Crocs when I was working in Ocean City, because that's a great station shoe.
Oh, yeah. We're actually not allowed to wear them around the station. Allegedly.
Yeah.
You can't wear them around the station Monday through Friday, like 7 to 5.
Right. Right.
But yeah.
Yes. That would have been something else.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I hate wearing shoes.
Yeah.
But after a while, like it's just going barefoot all the time. Like my back hurts, my feet hurt. So I put on the Crocs, and well, even like in the winter, we have hardwood floors. My feet get cold.
Yep.
So I put my Crocs on, and we're good to go. So
I have 3 pair of lined Crocs. I have a Christmas.
Of course.
I have standard black.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have.
You mean tactical?
Tactical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're perfect.
Yeah.
So it just depends my mood in the morning. If it's festive, the Christmas ones go on. If I'm trying to be stealthy, the camo go on. If I'm just jetting around the house, it's jet black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
I tell
that.
you, these the lip is a little bit bigger in the back, which is nice because it helps hold it like it's like kind of an all-wheel drive situation.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed it doesn't have the 4-wheel drive strap unless you took it off.
I took it off.
Okay.
Yep. So on this particular brand, the strap, when it was on, like the constant rubbing between the two made them squeak.
Okay. Yep.
And I didn't know if it was the shoe itself or if it was like what it was. So I got rid of the strap and the squeaking seems to have gone away. But there's a little, like you got your all-wheel drive. It's kind of like it locks in when it needs to.
Yep.
So that's a little thicker. But other than that, like super comfortable. I would have gone another size up.
Okay.
So I think these run this particular one runs a little small, but I have no complaints for $15.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So
I use, we're talking about comfortable shoes. I wear Extra Toughs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when Extra Toughs came out, I was anti Extra Tough. I just thought they were a gimmick, kind of.
Yeah,
deal.
I think they were dumb as shit.
Yep, exactly right. And then I got convinced to buy a pair. Jennifer, I'm into old school camo, and I found an old school camo pair, and I bought them. They were okay. I'm not going to buy another pair like this.
Mm-hmm.
But Shannon, the swag lady, said if you want to try a pair of Extra Toughs, get the all leather version.
I didn't know they made an all leather.
Yeah, buddy. And I got them on sale for like $60. They are the best boot that I've had on my feet in a long time. I wear them this time of year. I wear them every day when I go out. They are fantastic. Old school camo on the top and leather, all but the little neoprene cutout on the, like where the,
right there.
That's him. Yep. They are the best freaking boot I've had on my feet in a long time. And speaking of Extra Tough, they also make a sneaker. It's a bedroom slipper, fleece lined. And I was wearing mine this morning before we started doing the podcast, and I put my Crocs on. Because, I had to be formal like that, put my Crocs on.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just something about the Extra Toughs that I can't get around.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the boat, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It works for me. I like them. Very comfortable. And we are 18 minutes into this and haven't discussed the topic yet. Shocking as that is.
Right? Who would have guessed? So I got the jerky episode.
Yes.
Was the seed was planted for that by our good friend Doug Andrews. And I guess he's traveling again. He said he was binging the show, going down to Florida, and that's what spurred the, hey, have you guys ever done jerky? Which then we did jerky. That airs, I think, next week.
Okay.
But then he was on the way back and said that he was binging again and just having a great time. And he said we should do call-ins. I was like, we absolutely should. The logistics of calling in, like we could make it work, but kind of a pain. And the way that we record the shows and then they go live, they get published. Like having a live call-in doesn't really work. He said, but I said, we'll get you on the show because that would be fun. Like, just a great guy, and he's a beer guy, so we could do that. As I talk about my extensive experience drinking fancy beers, also known as Natural Light. But he's like my mouth engages before my brain. That I don't know that you want me on the show. I was like, Doug, have you actually listened to any of our shows?
You know us.
Like, that's all that we do. Like, this section here engages, and there is nothing going on between the ears. Not a thing. So
no, we buy the boat.
Yeah.
I make my appointment at Motor Vehicle Administration to go register the trailer. I go in, I run into Marlon Myers. He's working the the booth for MSP, and I shoot the shit. Hadn't seen Marlon in a while, so I'm talking to him. He's got to go do a walkabout, so I sit down at the bench, and who pops up behind me? Yep, Doug. What are you doing here?
No way.
Well, he's buying my trailer, or he's doing something. The guy that was with him, and he said, "So we're going to transfer that over and do this and do that." I said, damn, I never know where I'm going to see you.
Right?
Yeah. Never know.
Never know.
Pops up.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
What a great guy.
Yep.
An absolute great guy. Yeah. I don't know how he does it with Delaney and Hannah and whew.
Nope.
Absolute great guy.
Yeah, he's not had to shoot a boy yet, so it's good that we know.
Not yet. Not yet that we know of. And again, he's not shooting anybody.
He has friends.
Remember that, Doug. You have friends.
Yep.
You have friends.
You remember that, Ben.
Oh yeah.
And Dale and Noah.
We all have friends.
Yep.
Now we just need friends with a pig farm.
Right.
For bacon.
Ooh. Tasty bacon.
Tasty bacon. Tasty bacon. So,
for every problem, there's a solution. And then there's a benefit.
That's right. Yes. That went full circle real quick. Real quick. And as you could see the lag in my brain. Yeah.
It's okay. It's early.
Yeah. Holy shit. So let's actually talk. Let's spend the last couple minutes talking about, we'll just do the bologna.
Okay.
The whole bologna chud. That's what they call that fucking thing, is a chud. Chub. Whatever.
A chubby.
Way, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up, my grandparents always had a chub of bologna in their refrigerator. And to this day, I can see my grandmother pulling out this 3-pound brick of bologna, taking one knife and one knife only. And it was sharpened so much by my grandfather. We talked about it in a knife sharpening episode, where it had a hump in the center, where he had sharpened the center so much, it just made a hump in it. And she would slice this bologna kind of on the thick side. And I salivated just talking about it. And that was my grandfather's lunch, was a bologna, cheese, white bread with mayonnaise and lettuce,
Mm-hmm.
And it was a staple of my youth when I was at my grandparents' house. So there's some nostalgic things there. So I go to Cisco, and this is, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I go to Cisco and I see a 3 or 5 pound bologna chub, whatever it was. And I had seen people smoke them before. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to hear something come out of my mouth that you've never heard before. You score it in a cross hat or diamond pattern. You use a binder. I use Devil's Jizz as a binder, which is mustard for folks of you that don't know. Yeah. And then seasoned it with banging board dust. Threw it on the smoker and smoked it at, I think, 200 for like 2.5 hours. Got some color on the outside. Got the diamond patterns to open up. Sliced it, fried it, and had bologna and cheese sandwiches basically out of that. Freaking fantastic. Now, I know that you're not necessarily a bologna fan, but when you add the seasoning and you smoke it and you slice it and you fry it, it is good old country eats.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't take that away from it. Like that is yeah. And they've had smaller ones at the Food Kitty. Mm-hmm. And I walked past and I was like, man, I could do that. the problem is that like if I did it, like what the fuck would I do with it?
Right.
I'm not gonna eat that much bologna. Like.
Yeah.
But
Now, I took the rest of it and
Mhm.
broke out the slicer
Mhm.
and did some thicker slices and put like 4 in a vacuum seal bag and vacuum
Mhm.
sealed it and threw it in the freezer. And then that way, when I had a hankering for a little processed meat, I'd go grab it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
now I'd
Yeah.
much rather have other deli meats if given the choice, but
But every now and
I'll take
then,
the bologna every now and again.
yeah, every now and again, like you get that, like we've talked about with food in general. It's about who you share the food with
Mhm.
and the memories that you make. Like I remember one of the first briskets I cooked, and I remember more than anything else the people that I had it with. The brisket was terrible. Like it was overcooked. It wasn't seasoned well. It was just terrible. And I think, and I know it's before I started talking to you about the process of all of it. But the people that I had it with, we had a great time.
Yeah.
And everything else was really good. But the brisket itself was garbage, hot garbage, because we smoked it, we let it rest, and then we put it back into a fucking hot oven until the rest of the food was ready. So it was literally hot fucking garbage.
Yeah.
But I remember everything else that went along with it, and it was so much fun. I was just talking the other night. We were talking about the different kind of steaks, and my grandmother always made a ribeye steak. That's the only steak that I ever remember being at her house was a ribeye steak.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember she always used the Lowry's sesame ginger marinade, and she would marinate the steaks in that, and then Grandpa would cook them on the old Weber kettle grill.
Yep.
And they were fantastic. And now my mouth is watering but that's what I remember.
All that memory is coming back, and now you're going to have to do it.
Yeah, like I don't cook with that marinade as much. Like it used to be. Anytime I made a steak, that was the steak I was making. I don't cook like that anymore because of the other seasonings, of like just everything else that we've tried with steaks. But that's what I remember. So it's funny that we go back to tell Grandma that Rachel's pregnant. And this was when Harper was being born or was growing. And she said, "Oh, I went to the grocery store and I got us some steaks." I'm like, yes. She said, "But you're going to have to cook them." Not a problem, Grandma. I got it. And she gets them out, and she gets this bottle of Kikkoman's teriyaki, the glass bottle with like the real runny stuff, not the actual teriyaki like sauce. It's the teriyaki like marinade stuff. I'm like, Grandma, what are you doing? She's like, this is what we marinate the steaks in. It is absolutely not what we marinate the steaks in. No, this is what I've used all the time. No, it's not. Nice try, lady. You fucking alien. Hit the bricks.
Yep.
It's not
Where's my grandma?
Yeah. But that's what she wanted. That's what we made. They were good, but that was like it. But every time, and to the point where in the cabinet back there is always a bottle of the sesame ginger marinade for whenever we have a ribeye steak, chuck eye steak, whichever. And chuck eyes are just as good and they're cheaper. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, and it's that like that's what's important about that. So you get the bologna, you do that. It takes you back to your grandmother making your grandfather that sandwich.
Yep.
And
yep. And the other thing that she would do was she would use Pillsbury biscuits, bake them up, and make little sliders, little
Ooh.
cheeseburger sliders
How you
before
doing?
slider was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember them? And I'll still do them occasionally.
Yeah.
Just, again, nostalgic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes you back to a simpler time and place, you
Right.
know?
Right. When you didn't go broke going to the grocery store.
Did I mention I went just to pick up a couple things the other day? It was $117. I think I mentioned that. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Dude. Fucking ridiculous. Carried
Yeah.
all in one trip. I mean, this is depressing. And no
Well,
eggs.
Yeah. If you carry it in more than one trip, you're a bitch.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'll make the mistake. Rachel has put the reusable shopping bags in the Suburban.
Yeah.
And I always they're in the back. Like if I go to Walmart, I'll load the shit up in the back.
Yeah.
But I always forget about the bags. So here I am carrying all this shit in.
So do
I
I.
get to the door and I can't unlock it. Look like a goon.
Yep.
It's even funnier when she's like watching through the window. She's like, "Why didn't you use the bag?" I was like, "What bag?" The bag I put in there a week ago for you to carry your groceries in one trip. Yep, you're right.
Yep. And Jennifer will remind me, grab the bag behind the seat. What bag?
Mm-hmm.
The one behind the seat. Did you look? No.
No.
Well, look, you'll know it's there.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you use the bag? Nope. Why?
Nope.
Can't remember it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure as fuck. So in Salisbury, if you want a paper bag, you have to pay for it.
Yep.
Sure as fuck not paying for bags.
Nope.
Not fucking happening. Why? Why? Because I got a reusable bag in my car that I'm not going to use either.
Have you been to Audi, whatever it is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Jennifer's got it down to a science.
Yeah.
Why is there a quarter in my door? And she goes, for the cart. And I said, for the fucking cart? What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you rent the cart, you put it back, you lock it in, and it spits a quarter out at you. So I just put a quarter in the door. That way I always have a quarter for the cart.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get ready to go in, and she scoops up 8 of these bags out of the back of her vehicle. Like, what are you doing? Because we have to have your own bags. You have to do this. You have to do that. All right. You know this better than I do. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go in. Sure enough, you go to that little, when you check out, you go to that little shelf thing and you unload your shit, you bag it up, and you're free and clear, get your quarter back and going. If that's how they save money, it's how they save money. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not against an Aldi. Here's my thing with Aldi though. That if you go there and you have like specific needs for something that you're going to make, you can't go there first.
Yeah, correct.
You can and
But
get
you're taking a chance.
Yeah, get whatever you can. Or if you're going there, you're like, I'm gonna make burgers, and I'm gonna get I want a vegetable, I want like some shit to go along with it, and we're gonna do apps. So I'm gonna go to Aldi. Like if you go there with something like just the vague things, you're good to go.
Yeah.
If you go there with like a specific, like I want ribeyes, like you're gonna do like your T-bone for your dad, like don't go to Aldi.
Yeah.
Like just don't go there. Like you can't go there looking for specific items because you're not always gonna find what you want. If you go there like I'm looking for dinner, you're golden.
Yeah. Yep.
And you'll save some money.
See what they've got and go, yep, that'd be perfect. I can add this to it, and it's all right here. Yeah.
Yep. But you can't go in with something specific in mind.
And don't walk in thinking, the last time I was here, I got this, and it was really good. I'm going to get it again.
Not fucking there.
No.
And you may never see it there again.
So don't get attached to anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Although their brand of Doritos So Harper loves Doritos. The problem is Harper is really impacted by artificial colors.
Uh-huh.
So Doritos have that red dye. They have all these other colors and shit.
Yeah.
And somebody told me that that Aldi has committed to not using artificial colors and dyes and all that kind of shit, which is awesome.
Mhm.
And their brand of Doritos, the red Doritos, is actually better than the original Doritos. I haven't found a reason to go north while they were open to get a bag and to test it out, but I believe it. And we've gotten some other stuff from there, like their brand, and it's been good. So I have no reason to not think that their Doritos would be any different. But if you know that that's something that, like those colors, you want to avoid those, like Aldi's brand of stuff is artificial color free.
Yeah.
So
They're German based, and I can see that. Did you
Yeah.
also know that they're owned by the same people that have Trader Joe's, or they own Trader Joe's?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think Trader Joe's is a subsidiary of Aldi,
Oh.
or vice versa. I can't remember what came first, but I think Aldi came first.
Huh. Well, that's cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So they have a little knowledge for you. Little trip down memory lane, little knowledge, all in 36 minutes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. And who knows what else we actually talked about in this show? Because we don't
have a clue.
Not a clue.
God, that was so 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.